The day Henry Sullivan turned his quiet suburban life into a neighborhood war zone started innocently enough with a knock on his garage door and a scowl from Evelyn Pierce. Henry had lived in Maplewood Estates for 2 decades, a retiree who traded his old office chair for a folding table piled with shipping boxes. His daughter, Clara, had sparked the idea months earlier, peering into the dusty chaos of his garage. "Dad, you've got a gold mine here," she'd said, gesturing at his hoard of vintage typewriters, VYNYL records, and model ships. "Sell this stuff online. It'll keep you busy." And it had. Each package he taped up felt like a little VY Tory, a connection to someone out there who cared about the same oddities he did. That was until Evelyn decided his hobby was a crime. It was a crisp Tuesday in May 2025 when Evelyn, the self-crowned queen of Maplewood's Homeowners Association, stormed up to his open garage. Her arms were crossed tight, her lips a thin slash of disapproval. "Mr. Sullivan," she barked, skipping any pretense of CIVY lighty. "We've had complaints. This," she waved a manicured hand at his modest setup, "is a violation. You're running a business." Henry chuckled, thinking it was a joke. "Evelyn, it's just a hobby. Look, I'm sending this 1960s typewriter to a guy in Oregon. Want to see?" Her eyes narrowed to slits. "The bylaws prohibit commercial active VY tie in residential zones. This is a neighborhood, not a warehouse." Henry tried to explain retirement, a little extra cash. No harm done, but she was already snapping photos with her phone. "The board will handle this," she said, heels clicking as she marched off. 3 days later, a crisp HOA violation notice arrived, accusing him of turning his garage into an unauthorized distribution hub. Cease all active VY tie within 72 hours or face DULA 150 daily fines. Henry wasn't a troublemaker. He'd served in the Navy, worked 35 years as an accountant, and paid his mortgage on time since 1999. He'd hosted 4th of July barbecues where Evelyn herself had complimented his ribs. So he called Marcus Tate, the HOA president, hoping for sanity. Marcus sounded weary. "Henry, I get it, but Evelyn's got photos 40 packages shipped this month. It's excessive. 40? That's barely one a day." Henry protested. Marcus sighed. The board voted. "Evelyn's got them spooked about delivery trucks ruining the streets. I can't override it alone." That night, Henry caught Evelyn watching his house from her kitchen window, her silhouette stark against the glow. She raised a wine glass in a mocking salute. He didn't sleep. The next morning, his neighbor Sam dropped by, leaning on Henry's porch railing. "Heard about the HOA mess," Sam said, scratching his beard. "Evelyn's been VYing those garage pics around at her yoga class, calling it your secret shipping empire. Says it's attracting shady characters." Henry groaned. "She's nuts. My biggest crime is mailing a record to a guy in Boise." Sam shrugged. "She's got half the block paranoid about porch pirates now." That afternoon, Henry emailed the HOA board, attaching photos of his setup, just a table, some tape, a few boxes. He begged for reason. The only reply came from Marcus: "Decision stands. Compliance due in 48 hours." Then came the emergency HOA meeting. The community center was packed, neighbors craning their necks to see Henry, the sudden VY lane. Evelyn had prepared a PowerPoint, residential integrity under threat, complete with zoomed-in shots of his garage, red arrows pointing to bubble wrap, and a fabricated chart claiming his operation had spiked traffic by 20 fan tram. She even suggested his packages were tanking property values. Henry stood, voice steady. "I'm a retiree selling my own stuff. There's no business here." Evelyn cut in, brandishing the bylaws like a weapon. Section 9, Paragraph 4. No commercial enterprises in residential zones. The room murmured. Some neighbors nodded at Henry's defense. Others bought Evelyn's scare tactics. The vote was 6-3 against him. As people shuffled out, a few whispered apologies, but Evelyn smirked by Marcus's side, victorious. That night, staring at his ceiling, Henry felt the weight of 20 years in Maplewood crumble. He'd played by the rules his whole life. Why was he the bad guy now? Then, as dawn crept through his blinds, an idea ignited. If they wanted to label his garage a problem, he'd give them a real one. He brewed coffee, grabbed his phone, and got to work. By 7 a.m., he'd photographed every item in his garage: typewriters, records, tools, and old rocking horse his grandkids had outgrown. His hands trembled as he posted listings on Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, and Nextdoor. Free pickup only, Maplewood Estates, HOA mandated clear out Saturday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. He uploaded 40 items, each with his address, then created a Facebook event, HOA ordered community free-for-all. He shared it in every local group he could find. Clara called as he finished. "Dad, how's the HOA thing going?" "I'm fixing it," he said, stifling a grin. "Dad, don't do anything wild. Those people are vultures." "Too late," he replied. Friday, he hauled everything onto his driveway, staging it like a flea market. He hung a banner, "Free items courtesy of Maplewood Estates HOA." By nightfall, his post had 300 comments, people RSVPing, asking about early access. He slept like a king. Saturday dawned bright. Henry set up a lawn chair and waited. The first car rolled in at 7:10 a.m., couple in a rusty hatchback. "Can we start?" they called. "Go for it," Henry waved. By 8 a.m., cars lined the street. By 9, it was chaos, strangers swarming his driveway, hauling off lamps and records, thanking him profusely. "Why is it free?" a woman asked, cradling a typewriter. "HOA rules," Henry said smoothly. "They said I can't keep this stuff in my garage, so it's yours." At 9:30, Evelyn's door slammed open. She stood on her porch, jaw slack, watching a pickup truck snag her prized curb spot. She charged over, phone in hand. "What the hell is this, Henry?" "Complying with your orders," he said, handing a toolbox to a grinning teen. "You said no shipping from my garage. I'm clearing it out." "This is a circus," she shrieked as a sedan grazed her hydrangeas. "You're ruining everything. Is GIVYing away my property against the rules too?" Henry asked, voice calm. She dialed Marcus, fuming. By 10, the street was a parking lot, horns honking, kids running, neighbors peering out windows. Marcus arrived at 10:45, show VYing through the crowd. "Henry, stop this." "Why?" "I'm not selling or shipping. Just following your ruling." A woman with a stroller overheard. "Are you the HOA guy? This is so generous." Marcus sputtered. "I didn't, fluke. Your banner says I approve this." Henry glanced at his sign, now reading "Approved by HOA President Marcus Tate." "Well, you did rule on my garage, didn't you?" Then the news van showed up. Evelyn had called Channel 5 to report a public disturbance, but the reporter, a sharp-eyed woman named Lisa Grant, saw a story. "Sir, are you behind this giveaway?" she asked Henry, mic thrust forward. "It's all thanks to our HOA," he said, beaming. "They flagged my garage as a problem, so I'm sole VYing it with a community event." Lisa turned to Marcus. "Mr. Tate, what inspired this initiative?" Marcus froze as Evelyn flailed behind him, trying to intervene. Just then, a kid tripped, knocking over Evelyn's custom mailbox, a Dulot 200 monstrosity shaped like a swan. The crash echoed. Evelyn's scream was primal. Marcus yanked Henry aside. "In this, and I'll call an emergency meeting tonight. Violation gone, apology issued, whatever you want." "In writing," Henry said. "Now." Marcus scrambled to his car for a notepad. Lisa circled back. "Can we get a statement for the 6 o'clock news?" Henry faced the camera. "Sometimes rules need a reality check. This isn't about free stuff, it's about fairness." The crowd cheered. Evelyn, now on her phone, likely calling the cops, looked defeated. By noon, the chaos peaked. A local DJ set up in Henry's driveway, blasting oldies. Neighbors emerged not to complain, but to join. Mrs. Kim from next door brought lemonade. Sam helped the guy load a dresser, laughing. "You've unleashed a monster, Henry." "Good," Henry said. At 2 p.m., Marcus returned with a signed letter rescinding the violation and a shaky apology. "Meetings at 7. It's done." Henry pocketed it, watching a family haul off his rocking horse. The news clip aired that night. Henry's driveway, a carnival. Evelyn's red face mid-rant, Mrs. Kim calling it a wake-up call for the HOA. Texts flooded in from friends. Clara called, half laughing, half horrified. Dad, you're trending. The HOA chaos is everywhere. Sunday, 2 more news vans camped out. A radio station EU'd Henry live. Someone started a petition to oust Evelyn from a board. By Monday, Marcus was at his door again, haggard. The board met. Violations gone, and we're rewriting the rules. Evelyn's off enforcement. We want you on the committee. Henry smirked. Me? The rebel. You've got a point of VYEW we need, Marcus muttered. Then the neighbors showed up, Mrs. Kim with bagels, Sam with a sketch for a community shed. Yesterday changed things, Sam said. People are talking, really talking. The room buzzed with ideas. A playground, a book swap. The doorbell rang again. Evelyn stood there, eyes red. Silence fell. I'm sorry, she said, voice breaking. I got obsessed with control and forgot why I moved here to belong. Mrs. Kim hugged her. Help us with the shed. You're good at organizing. Evelyn nodded, tentative. Weeks later, Henry's garage was a workshop, neighbors tinkering, planning. The HOA shifted. Less about fines, more about connection. Evelyn traded her clipboard for a gardening spade, spearheading a flowerbed project. Henry still sold online, but now with Sam scouting sales, splitting profits for a park fund. One evening, a new couple moved in. Evelyn greeted them not with a rule book, but a pie and a flyer for the next potluck. Henry watched from his porch, sipping coffee. Revenge had sparked something Betterra neighborhood reborn. Would you stand up and fight back, or accept the unreasonable pressure and control from the HOA? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this VY Deo with more people. Your small action gives us the motivation to keep bringing you more intense and engaging stories. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next VY Deo.